Hello, this is Dr. Jose Pravisheri. This is the fifth video of the series of videos I am doing on biotechnology. Today I am going to talk about one of the important techniques in biotechnology, namely gel electrophoresis. Gel electrophoresis is a technique by which DNA, RNA, or proteins are separated in a gel on the basis of size and charge differences. It was invented by the scientist Teselius. If you are separating nucleic acids such as DNA and RNA, an agarose gel is used. But if you are separating proteins, a polyacrylamide gel is used. Agarose is a carbohydrate polymer obtained from red algae such as Gelidium and Gracilaria. When agarose is heated with water and cooled, it becomes a gel. The gel has a mesh-like appearance with holes in it. When DNA fragments go through the holes, the small fragments can easily go through the holes, whereas the large ones cannot. That is how DNA gets separated in the gel. The concentration of agarose used depends on the size of the DNA fragments to be separated. For example, we usually use concentration between 0.5 and 1%. The gel electrophoresis setup has the following parts. It has a gel tank with two chambers in it, in which we take buffer, a casting tray in which we make the gel combs, which are plastic devices by which you can make holes in the gel called wells, the electric wires, and the power supply. To make the gel, agarose is mixed with water and heated till it melts. It is then poured into the gel tray. When it cools, it becomes a gel. A comb is put in the gel vertically to create the wells. The wells look like this. We apply the DNA samples inside the wells. DNA is mixed with a tracking dye called bromophenol blue and glycerol before applying to the wells. This dye is called a tracking dye because it tracks the movement of the DNA fragments through the gel. The dye moves in front of the smallest DNA fragment. In the first well, we add a DNA sample containing DNA fragments of known molecular weight to create a DNA ladder. Other DNA samples are applied in the other wells. A DNA ladder is used to determine the size of an unknown sample. It contains regularly spaced DNA fragments of known sizes. When run on an agarose gel, it looks like a ladder. Buffer is added to the two chambers. A buffer is added because it provides ions that carry a current through the gel. It also maintains the pH inside the chamber. The apparatus is then connected to a power supply and current is passed through the gel. DNA is negatively charged because of phosphate in the DNA, so the DNA fragments will move towards the positive electrode or anode. The smaller the DNA fragment, the further it moves. The dibromophenol blue moves in front of the smallest DNA fragment. So the largest fragment will be near the wells and the smallest fragment will be near the anode. After electrophoresis, the DNA fragments are visualized under UV light by staining with ethidium bromide. Ethidium bromide is a fluorochrome. A fluorochrome is a chemical which absorbs UV light and emits visible light. This dye gets into the grooves of DNA. DNA appears as orange bands when seen under UV light. A band in the gel consists of many DNA fragments of the same length. As you can see in this picture, the bands near the well are thicker than the other ones. This is because the DNA fragments there are of the largest size. The one at the bottom is the smallest size. In other words, one band contains many DNA fragments of the same length. So all the bands will be of the same width. Gel electrophoresis is used not only in genetic engineering but also in DNA fingerprinting. In DNA fingerprinting, it can be used to identify criminals. For example, in the picture here, The crime scene DNA matches with the suspect 2 DNA. So suspect 2 is the criminal. Gel electrophoresis in DNA fingerprinting can be used to solve paternity disputes. In the picture here, the DNA of male 1 matches with the DNA of the child. So he is the real father of the child. Thank you for listening to my video. I have published some books for students appearing for the NEET exam. One is Handbook of Biology, Volume 1, which describes all the chapters in class 11, and Volume 2, which describes all the chapters in class 12. And also I have published a book, Biology in a Nutshell, which includes all the chapters. These books are available on Amazon. I am giving the link below.